Welcome everybody to the Sunday Night Grow Pro call. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody for now. Mute all. And then I'm also going to mute participants on entry. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
There we go. Okay, hi Ricky. Yay. Okay, so we're going to go through a few housekeeping items, and then we're going to hear from Paul and maybe Mark. I was talking to Emily Britt today, and you know, it's interesting. I don't know, do any of you can raise your hands. I can see most of you. Let's see, I'm gonna put it on gallery. Anybody get calls that cancel, reschedule, or like, for example, somebody's like so excited about the products or the business and all of a sudden they don't answer you back? Anybody get that?
Oh, never.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that's just normal.
Yeah.
And secondly, I do want to say, though, I think we can maybe talk about, Ricky says, of course, we can talk about some strategies to sort of prevent that. It's a lot about posture and, you know, the way we take it away from them. Like, hey, if you're not interested, you know, that you're not doing me, you know, Paul has some really, he just doesn't have that happen. And now that he's joining the business, it's like, wait, why? I thought for sure, for example, this one guy was going to cancel because he basically said, I'm not interested at all in talking to you, or not talking to you. I'm not interested at all in the products. But Paul wanted to meet him again. He said, that's okay. What about referrals? And I thought, he won't, he'll cancel. And he did. And he goes, and Paul, this is what Paul said. He's like, hell no, he won't. And I'm thinking like, he would have canceled. So that's sort of first on the agenda, because I think setting up the appointment and conducting the call it's the first step, and it's probably the most important step. I feel like if people can hear the story of Isagenix, they'd be crazy not to enroll. That's how I feel. They would be crazy not to at least try it, at least the way we present it with our introductory call. So Paul's going to talk about a few strategies, but before, we're going to go through, like I said, a couple quick, I'm going to mute some of you. Okay. A couple quick housekeeping items. Number one, I want to congratulate Renee Crowder for earning a $100 Lululemon gift certificate.
Yes,
I'm going to unmute her. Woo!
Awesome. Thank you. Thank
Way
you.
Renee.
And how did she do that?
And Renee, will you share, you know, like we just had some really nice introductory calls, and I want you to share how many did we have? 3?
3 or 4, but I did have one cancel.
4, I'm sorry. We had 4. No, we had 4, and you had 1. I love this.
Right.
We had 4, and one of them canceled at the last minute, but Renee replaced her. So we actually had 4.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's really, really awesome. So Renee, I'd love for you to share what you got out of them, what the results were, etc.
I think the biggest thing is really how you guys share. And I don't know why I was so fearful to reach out to you or Donna or whomever, because you've been more than welcoming and saying that this is the basics. You know, you have to start with these calls. And, you know, I've been a user for a couple of years, but I've just started to look at the business January, February, but I've spent a lot of time just sitting on the calls, every call I can hop on. But then I got to the point where, and this was the quote, was confused minds do nothing. And I found myself sitting there doing nothing. And I was just confused where to start. I had a lot of people in RPRR. I had I was kind of doing a little bit of everything. I utilized the GoPro. I was sending videos. I was sending lookbooks. I mean, I was just kind of doing too many different things, and I was totally confused and not doing the basics. I didn't listen to the basics. And I really still don't know that much about the products. And what I loved, absolutely loved, is the 4 calls. I learned something different every call, even from how you presented it. I mean, you presented the same slides, but the words that you said and how you presented it and how you tailored it was so wonderful. So I just want to thank you, and I can't wait. I love the new system that you put that we can go in and just kind of plug in, because I probably have about 30 that I'm going to plug in. I can't wait. So I'm really loving the process that I can now put it all together, listen to how you present it, and it just makes total sense.
I love it. And Renee, I love that. A confused mind says no. And I think the other part about that is if you don't have a systematic approach, you'll never get any duplication in your business.
Right.
It'll be very, very difficult. And number two, you never really go pro. And here's why. You cannot go pro if you're doing everything.
Right.
You cannot go pro if you're doing everything. And so whatever you do, and you don't have to do it the way I think is, for me, I know this is the best way, and I'm never going to stop doing it the way I'm doing. Invite people to take a look at our solutions, and conduct the introductory call, and then follow up. You kind of learn as you earn. The follow-ups are maybe, figuring out what their goals are and sending them some appropriate videos, some appropriate documents, or, a link from Isagenix Health. I just enrolled somebody this week who has rheumatoid arthritis, and I just Googled rheumatoid arthritis Isagenix, and some really great information came up. I want to say one more thing, Renee. You mentioned that you learned something a little different every single time I did an introductory call, but let me tell you something. I follow that script to a T. But here's the thing, you'll never go pro, like I said. You're never going to grow pro if you do everything. I've done it so many times, and I'm an expert at it. I'm an expert. I've stayed tethered to that introductory call, which in my mind has 20 to 30 minutes of the most salient and most important points that I want to get across to the prospect. I want them to understand that they're opening their own virtual wholesale account. I want them to understand the bullet points of the 5 pillars. I want them to understand that it's a redirect of our grocery budget. I want them to understand that we're not just another one of those, and this is what makes us unique. We have clinical studies and rock solid science, but I've gone pro, and so has Paul, because he's done it so often that I listen. See, I was never able to listen before I really had my shit together with the intro call. Now I can listen, and I can tailor the call to that particular person that is on the, and what they say, and if they say they have kids, oh gosh, what sports do they play? Oh my, they would love this. They would, just a few little things. So what else? Did you have any enrollments, Renee?
1 and 2 should be shortly. So I'm excited, very excited.
That's awesome. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad, right?
Right. And then the other thing is my very first enrollment, because she never listened to your call. I want her to come back and talk to you again. She already signed her mom up, and I would love to make her consultant because she's never seen your presentation. And I feel like I've done her a disservice because I still think you could present it in a different way than even I'm comfortable presenting it at this point. And I would like to help her grow. So I see even more opportunity.
Yeah. So, I just really I'm sticking to this. I'm so comfortable with it. It's so easy it should be really easy. I think the hardest thing is for people to comfortably schedule the call.
Right.
Renee, could you give us some tips on how you got those people on the call?
Well, as I said, they were already kind of marinating. So I probably have 20 or 30 at least that I've sent something to. So I need to kind of go back and start at square one again. But I just kind of went to the warm market, the ones where I felt like, I could share with them and say, this is totally new. And I feel like I've done you a disservice by just kind of telling you my results, which have been wonderful. And you can tell my passion for it. But can you just give me 30 minutes? So, and I would feel much more comfortable. And I would love to share it with you. I think you would get a lot out of it. And those 3, they loved it. I mean, and completely, they were kind of, I had already shared them. They were friends and I couldn't get them to do it. You know what I mean? I couldn't get them to sign up yet. So they are ready now. So it's, I think that's the best thing, is to have them kind of already, whether you've had little conversations, but they happen organically, usually, on the soccer field. I was at 5 soccer games this weekend and a track meet, but it's amazing just kind of standing around talking, and a few people that you've already shared it with, you continue that conversation and someone overhears it. And I said, well, let me have you talk to my friend Heidi. We just had 2 of these calls. In fact, I have 2 more calls lined up from talking about the 2 calls that I had with the 2 girls that you had them with. So, I mean, that's what's nice, is it organically happens the more you talk about it.
I love it. Great job. So you have
Thank
to send me your address.
I will. Thank you so much. And thank you for your help.
Oh my gosh. I really love doing them. It's really fun to do something that you feel very comfortable doing. And I feel so comfortable, and it's much easier for me to do it on your behalf. And, the warmest market is the hardest market.
Right.
That's why these are so important, I think. Paul, do you have anything to add before I show?
Well, thanks again.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Such a pleasure. Oh, that was me in the, yeah. Don't look at that. Okay, so I want to a couple little housekeeping items before we turn it over to Paul and Danielle. You can unmute yourself, guys. Do you want me to add the Excel spreadsheets here? This is just a PDF with live links. These are PDFs, and I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, but somebody, I think, asked for a downloadable spreadsheet. Do you guys want me to add that? I guess not.
I haven't found a need for it, Heidi. I do have paper copies, but you can print the PDF out. So I don't know what the Excel does, although it gives somebody the ability, I guess, to take it and expand it and all that kind of stuff. So I'd say that's up to you.
Where's that chat? Well, you know what? I can absolutely add it. Like I said, I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible for people. Let's see, how do you go ahead? Well, I want to tell you, oh, there's the chat. Yes, and Excel, okay. Yes, I would. Okay, well, you know what? If more than one person wants it, we'll add it. And I'll just say Excel spreadsheet. I just want to let you guys know how I do this. I try to print out one a week of these. Okay, let's see. Somebody else want to keep track of the chat? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. That would be great. Okay, so that will be added tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you how I do it. You certainly don't need to do it the way I do it, but I print one of these out a week, okay? And we watched this movie, Just One More.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Just one more.
And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, right, Paul?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a great movie.
It is. Just one more.
Just one more.
Yeah.
So
Just one more.
it's just great. It's so, the idea is like, how many people can I invite to take a look, or how many prospects, can I fill this sheet up in a week?
How many people can I save?
Yeah.
Right.
Amen.
And like Hacksaw Ridge, just one more. Just one more. So anyway, but that's what I do. And then I print them out. And, I use it in conjunction with the ones with the live links, obviously, but I just put a date here so I can keep track where I am with someone. And then I put the week up here, the date of the week there. Okay, here's what I want to show you is schedule the introductory call. This is really important. The invitation to take a look. And I think I'm going to revise this just a little bit. And this is what I found. You know what? Not everybody is looking to create a multi-million-dollar business with Isagenix and is looking for their board of directors. And that's what I'm realizing. So, you know what? Not a whole lot of people aren't going to do this. You might, but most of the people that you bring in probably aren't. You know, like Renee's store is perfect. She's been using and loving the products for a long, long time. And she's now engaging in the business opportunity. And she's still probably not, oh, I'm going to like go out like crazy and find my board of directors. I mean, this is for some people. Danielle, yeah. Lisa DeMeo, yeah. They started off like that. I started off like that. But not everybody's like that. So,
Heidi, can I just add one thing?
sure.
And I think, Joe, you had asked us, how did I do it? I mean, it was people that I had already kind of out there and I had talked to, but the text that you gave us, which was, I'm new and I'm training. So that was the text that got it. I sent it to 5 people and said, I'm training. I really don't know what I'm doing. With the, I mean, and that was, I think if you could keep that in this group, you know, I think there was a little text in the chat in the Facebook group, but if you
It's
could
right
add-
here.
Okay.
And, you know, guys, copy paste.
Okay.
Send.
Okay.
Copy paste customize. So you use this pretty much. Hey, I'm circling back with you. Okay.
That's exactly what I used.
Okay, guys, what do you think? I mean, this is so helpful. This is, see how, because we're all, if we can row, you know, the ISO Dream teams all rowing at the same, together, we're going to be amazing. We're going to grow so fast, but we all have to be doing the same thing so we can get better and better as a team. Okay. So as part of the, see, this is so good. So guys, go back to the people that you threw in Real People, Real Results and, you know, send this. You know, hey, you know what, that didn't work. Or, I mean, it works to an extent. I know Joe mentioned he signed up someone, and so did I, that had been, I signed somebody up this week, and Joe did too, that had been in there for 7 or 8 months. But, so it's not a bad thing. But, okay, okay, here's some actual verbiage. So anyway, we've got, this is, you know, this first step is the hardest step to take, and the first step's the most important step. You can't, people are always trying to go from, you know, to Z before they do A. So this is, you know, take a look at this, how we've restructured this a little bit. It's the same exact stuff put in a different order. Schedule the introductory call, conduct the introductory call. You know, that used to be after you put them in Real People, Real Results. Now, in my opinion, and I think this is working way better, by the way, if they're ready to get started after the intro call, enroll and schedule orientation call. If, and then you move to the product coaching tracking sheet. If they're not ready to get started after the introductory call, then add and welcome to our PRR, add consistent content posts, and continue to follow up personally, like send a text, hey, I thought of you. You know, I just heard this story and I know that your goals align with that, whatever. And then there's an overcoming objections. That's a really good thing. But let's go ahead and move on to the product coaching sheet, product support tracking sheet. And I want to show you this. This is the welcome email that I've revised a bit. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on. You guys are going to have to go here. There's a little glitch. Now I know. Okay, the welcome email. So what I've done is, a lot of people aren't familiar with the orientation call. To me, it's, Paul, plug the orientation call. I mean, Paul listens to me doing them all the time, and he's like, that is such a brilliant call.
Well, the orientation, well, let's put it this way. The introductory call is the critical step to get people to enroll.
Mhm.
The orientation call is a critical step to keep people, or to get people really engaged. You know, it's one thing to get somebody on the products, but then it's another thing to get them fully to the point where they're, you know, really buying into Isagenix. Not only the products, but also being able to introduce the business at that stage and take their temperature. You know, that's the thing here is, you know, we start with the products because that's the easiest in path of least resistance. And if you can educate people on the products, get them excited about the products, get their products on the way, and then once they've made that commitment, then introduce the business and do it in a manner that's, you know, really very non-threatening. You know, that's the language 1, 2, or 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can best serve you. Are you 1, 2, or 3? And it's weird, but there are people that say 1, but a lot of people say 2 or 3.
And at least you planted that seed.
Yeah, that's the key.
At least you planted that seed. And even if they say 1, then, you know, the verbiage really is, well, that's awesome. You know, I so greatly appreciate referrals because you know what? When you lose that 15 pounds or when you know, gain that muscle you said you wanted to gain with the products, people are going to start asking, what are you doing? And I promise to provide white glove service to anyone that you would refer to me. And then if there's a referral, then you can go back and say, you know, I just want to let you know, so-and-so, your friend so-and-so is starting and she wants to start with the value pack. And I know you said you were a 1, but I just want to let you know there's an opportunity here for you to make $80. You know, so even if they're a customer, I use anyway. Okay, but here's the main thing, and this is going to be in a little. This is still on iCloud, and Jennifer needs to download it to YouTube. So there'll be a little picture here they can click on. But guys, this is if you aren't comfortable or if you don't want to do the orientation call, or if your new enrollee doesn't have time. I mean, I had that come up. I mean, Brian rescheduled, but I just can't get him on an orientation call. People are busy, and I get that. Well, here they can do it on their own. And this is basically a 15-minute, 45-second video of me doing the orientation call. And you know, I walk through everything on this welcome email for them. Okay, and show them all. And you know, one of the things that I love most about this orientation call is people get off the orientation call and they're like, holy wow. I mean, we have a clinical nutritionist at corporate, you know, that you can call into. We've got this Healthy Mind and Body program that was designed by Rod Hairston, who trained under Tony Robbins, and it's better than free. I mean, and there's 70 products. I only knew really about 5. I mean, you really, as Paul said, want to get them engaged. So anyway, that is that. And then last but not least is tomorrow on the ISA Dream Team, and it will probably be right here, pretty big. There are going to be links to a You Can Book Me app, one for me and one for Paul, where you can see exactly, and I'll kind of show you, where you can see our schedule and when you can book a call. They're in hour time slots, just because I found that, you know, even though the call's usually about 30 minutes, I like to take the next half hour to maybe help Renee, you know, and give her some suggestions on how to follow up and give her some, you know, some ideas on next steps, et cetera, or on enrolling the person, helping to enroll the person. So they're in hour time slots, and this is it. And it starts tomorrow, and basically here is the time slots. So I have 10 a.m. and you can click on your, wherever you are, just click on your time zone and it'll all sync. Like I'll get it in Mountain Time, you'll get it in Central Standard Time if you're there or whatever. So this is really cool. And then you'll get a follow-up email 2 days before your call and a text message 3 hours before your call. Text message reminder. So that is that's it. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So now, what should we do? Should we have Paul? Do people want to talk about any challenges they're having setting up introductory calls? Or is that not necessary? You guys think you can do it? Are you good? You can unmute yourself and say, I need help. Not everybody's doing them. Is there a reason? Okay. All
You know,
right.
Heidi, I'm the proud person who's scheduled a couple last week and went 0 for, both of them dropped out right at the end. But been fortunate enough to reschedule one of them so far and got another one coming. I think they're great, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more. And I really appreciate that you've got this scheduling system so that we can schedule in that fashion. You've made it easy to schedule. I scheduled the one for Tuesday through that thing. It works great. It's easy. It takes a minute. And yeah, I mean, you've got me fired up about being refocused. I've already written down schedule, intro calls starting tonight and tomorrow morning. And I'm going to go back. I think they're great.
That's really the only thing you guys need to be doing. Scheduling introductory calls. You don't have any control over the rest of the process. You know, really. I mean, whether they say yes or no. Okay, and the script is great. Okay, Danielle, anything else, Paul, that you want to? I mean, I had Paul teed up like to help because he's way better than me. He's just, it's a lot of it's about posture. Like, it's just so much about posture. Like at Bonnie's yesterday, that guy was, I don't know if he was hesitant, but he changed the subject really quick, I think. And you just said, oh, it doesn't sound like you're that interested.
Yeah, well, you know, I think with the invitation to take a look, right? I think that what we have to be careful of is there's two different, I'll give you an example. Hey, this is the most incredible thing. You're going to love it. I can't wait to talk to you about it. It's awesome. And you know what? This business is amazing. And you can make so much money doing it. That's one approach. Okay. And the other approach is, hey, you know what? I have no idea if this is going to be a good fit for you or not. But I'll tell you what, I love these products. And, you know, I'd love to get on a call with you and give you an overview of what this is all about. You know, I mean, even if it's not a good fit for you, the more people that know what I'm doing, the better off I'm going to be. Would you do me a favor? You know, and just jump on a call. Because once again, you know, you may not be interested, but you might know somebody who is. And my point being is, you know, so the difference between the two is, you know, I'm always going to be on the other side. I don't, and even if they start getting excited about the business, I'm going to kind of pull back and I'm going to kind of take it away. Well, you know what? It ain't easy. You know, it's a tough business. I mean, it's an incredible business, but it's not easy. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to
Tell him that one guy.
Well, one guy.
Remember looking for.
Oh, well, we've talked about that before.
I think it's the most incredible thing. Oh, and by the way, Danielle, you're up in like 1 minute, and this call's 45 minutes, so we've got time. But
well, yeah, and some of you have probably heard me say this before, and I'm sure if you haven't heard me say it, you've heard it elsewhere. But Shackleton, when he was recruiting his crew, you know, what was the name of that? The book is The Endurance, you know, and it's about Shackleton's voyage, and they go up into the Arctic Ocean or the Antarctic. I think it was the Arctic, and they got iced in, and yeah, there it is. Interesting.
oh, they can't see it.
Oh. But they were stranded in the ice for like a year, and none of them died. They all survived these, a harrowing condition. I mean, it was gruesome. But the point being is that when Shackleton was recruiting, are you going to pull up Shackleton's?
Yeah.
It's his, It's not a, what do you, it's not an article. It's
What is-
recruiting. But, and if I can't find it, then I'll just paraphrase it. Yeah, ad.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this, instead of saying, hey, you know what, this is going to be a great thing, everybody, come on, jump on board. It's men wanted. Where'd you click on it?
No, it's right there.
I can't read that. Okay, forget it.
No, wait, here, let me share screen. I want people to see this.
Go back. All right, there it is. Men wanted for hazardous journey, low wages, bitter cold, long hours of complete darkness, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in event of success. Now, to me, that is brilliant, because guess who applied? There's only those people that were hardcore, knew the dangers in front of them, and were willing to rise up to those challenges. In other words, wimps need not apply. So when and that's the thing. I mean, you don't want to recruit wimps into this business, because wimps will fail. And I don't have anything against wimps, but I'm just right. I'm just saying that, if you're not cut out for it, you're not cut out for it. And you got to give people real understanding of what they're getting into, right? So my point being is, don't try to push people into this, because the more you push, the more they pull away, right?
Mhm.
So, and then when we get up people on an introductory call, the purpose of that introductory call is to educate people, to give them the information that they need so they can make a decision. That's it, okay? And what I would suggest that everybody really keep in mind is that you got to become detached from the outcome. And literally, when you're talking to somebody, you have to be very real when you say, like that guy we talked to, he's opening up he's a doctor or chiropractor or something. He's opening up a practice here. And I was talking to him, and he kind of stayed, and I said, you know what, sounds like you're not interested. And what's the downside of that? I didn't try to convince him. Oh my God, you got to listen to it. You got to hear it. Oh my God, this stuff is amazing. I said, you know what, sounds like you're not interested. He said, oh, no, I am. I said, oh, okay. Well, it may or may not be a good fit for your practice, but why don't we get together and chat? And, so don't try to, you have something that's awesome. You don't have to try to push it on people. Some people gravitate towards it, some people won't. But the more you try to push it, the more they'll try to pull away. Okay, but as I say, the introductory call is simply, it's just think of it as an awareness campaign. Okay, how, we and I'll leave it at this. That saying is, how many times have you told the isogenic story and there's a box and only one number fits in it? Okay. Well, that's true. But the reality is, it's how many times have you told the isogenic story correctly and effectively, so that people, without, giving them too little information or too much information.
Mhm.
The key is to give them just enough information so that they can make a decision. Okay? If you give them too little information, they will not make a decision. If you give them, it's like dating. Yeah, that's right. If you give them too much information, they will not make a decision either, right? They become confused. So, that's the purpose of the introductory call, is just to give them that overview and put them in a position of knowledge, so they feel empowered to make a decision that they feel is right for them, yes or no. And if it is a no, don't be afraid to go for the no. As a matter of fact, that's the purpose of the introductory call, is to give them an overview, give them the information that they need, but also, while you're doing that, make it really, really, really easy for them to say no.
Mhm.
Isn't that crazy? No, you got to get them to say yes. No, make it easy for them to say no. Let them say no. Give them that permission, okay? Because the easier you make it for them to say no, the less likely it is that they will say no. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. And believe me, it works. I'm telling you, it was so scary for me at first.
It's amazing.
It's
how it works.
amazing.
It's
like
really
magic.
incredible. Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, let's see. I'm going to Danielle's going to now give us an overview of ICU. I was so jealous, Danielle. I saw all your pictures.
It was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing, but the events are amazing. I mean, I definitely feel, can everybody hear me? I definitely felt a shift even when we were at NYKO this year. There was definitely an energy shift in the company, I think, as a whole. You know, they're celebrating 15 years, $5 billion. And I definitely felt it this January. And, you know, even just during the lunches when Heidi and I grabbed a bunch of you and we all got together and did some extra training during lunch. Well, one of the things that we did with Lisa this weekend is we had a team dinner set up by Lenore. She's amazing and always doing that for the whole team at Bonefish Grill. And it was my team, Tresley and Ryan were there with Steven, a couple of people from their team. Lisa had a new team, a couple of new members and a couple of old members that came back in. Lenore had a bunch of people from her team, but Susie Caccino and Christy Cherry were outside of our room, so they were not in this room. But we had about 60 people. And so we had a full day of training. Well, we had leadership training on Thursday. Then we had a full day of training on Friday, and this was Friday night. And you know what, you guys? It's really those special times, especially when you have such a masterful coach like Lisa. You know, she basically said before they even put down, it was like a prefixed meal. And before we even got the drink order and sat down and they put the first course on the table, she's like, look, guys, you can make this a social dinner or you can make this one of the most powerful nights of your life. So let's go. What's it going to be? And we were all like, powerful night, you know? So she's like, okay, I want to hear, what is your aha moment takeaway of this, you know, of this day, the first day? And, you know, what is your declaration? And what was really interesting, you guys, is that, you know, we can make goals on New Year's Eve and we can make goals for the first of the year, and that's great. And we go get the 90-day game plan at New Year's kickoff and we, you know, off and running, and we can start the 10 to the top and you make the goals. But really kind of you're growing and growing and growing along the way. And one of the things that, you know, I think as hard as we struggle, and Heidi and Paul are so amazing at the tools and the website and go to the chart and click the link. And, you know, I mean, they have it down to a science, you guys. I mean, it's a system. She's system oriented. This is a science, but everybody is human. And if you can't figure out how to raise your vibration, if you can't figure out how to grow, if you can't figure out how to be the best you can be and remove the layers of the onion, get rid of the old shit, lose the weight and use the products, get your goals done. If you said you were going crystal, whatever, get the damn bonus because you're out of integrity if you're not. If you can't raise your own personal vibration to attract the people. And it's not even necessarily attracting the new people. It's getting on the phone and asking for the introductory call. Because if you don't even have the right vibration for that, there's no point if you can't plug the people into the system, if you can't even be the best you can be. And so many of the trainers on stage, I mean, it was just like a common thread, I think, that was kind of going through the whole event. I mean, we heard from Trudy, who, you know, like somebody like Lisa, you know, had years and years of network marketing experience, but she came in and we got to see her, you know, be rewarded and be recognized as an ICE millionaire. You guys, 24 months, building a tree to ICE a millionaire, 24 months. And she's just a regular lady. She was wearing a jumpsuit and, you know, I mean, I'm going to just say it like it is. Looks like she still needs a hell of a lot of work. And she said, struggling with the weight up and down, doing a cooking show, you know, being in a business that had food in it for many, many, many years. She's not skinny mini, but she is so excited to share these products with people in such a passionate way. Her vibration is like literally fluttering up in the clouds that you are just like, okay, whatever you have in your body, I need that. And like I said, she's no size 2, she's no size 4. So it's really, really clear, you guys, when CG was on the stage with Chara Romano, you know, two bartenders from New Jersey, Jersey Shore, like, again, telling their stories, but they felt so darn good on the products, and they had such a compelling, you know, energy level and vibration that they just attracted people. And you have to be okay with looking in the mirror and seeing, what is your inventory? What is it? Where is your vibration? Where is your energy level day in and day out? Because it is a reflection of, you know, you and your business. And if you're ready to raise it, then, you know, tomorrow is a brand new day. Go to sleep tonight. I love you. Brush your teeth. And you get to choose. You know, you don't need to have the energy you had in the first quarter. The first quarter is over and done. You can have the website, dream team, every tool, every template, every link, everything. First quarter done. You know, now we're in the second quarter. How many people can you attract with your energy and your vibration? How many people can you get with you to celebration? Because if you can get to somebody to a Super Saturday, get them to an ICU, get them to an event, you know, it's almost like that's going to be the magnetic attraction. But once you get them there and you get there yourself, it's either a done deal. I mean, I literally look at people and I'm like, and I had a new woman there, Allie, who is direct to Shemaine Nugent, flew in from Texas, not even a month on a 30-day, flew in from Texas to be at this event with us. And I like look at the aisle, and of course I have her, you know, sitting with two of my veteran people, keeping her, you know, all good in the row and making sure she feels comfortable with our team. But I'm like, if you can't sit here and in the first 2 hours say, holy crap, this is freaking amazing, you don't belong on this team. You're not going to stick. It's just like Paul's saying, like, you're not going to stick. You're not going to get it. Because if you can get you can get to the events and keep plugging into the source, you know, and you keep needing to plug in, because here's the reality of the situation. I have a very good business. Heidi and I are going to max out these legs. Like, there's no denying it. It's literally a matter of months. And one of the other things I'll mention with that, you guys, is that if you've never seen the tree drawn out by either myself or Heidi, and you know your position in the tree and how many thousands of people are connected to you and where you lie in that infrastructure, I drew it out for some of my leaders. And I didn't realize that in 5 years, they had no idea that this is actually what it looked like. They had no idea that even though Mark and Heidi are on a leg with Lisa that is maxed out, meaning Lisa gets enough volume to cycle 250 times, Lenore doesn't. And Mark and I will grow that leg for Lisa 3, 4, 5 times what Lisa needs with Heidi, because we want to help Lenore max it out. So if you don't understand what I'm saying right now, you need to start to understand how that affects you. And even if you're stuck in the middle and you're buried in the middle of the tree, here's the deal. We're committed to work with the people who are buried in the tree that are enrolling and working like monsters, because we'll make that a new leg. And so you have there's no, I got left somewhere and that's my problem. There is no such thing. I told that to 2 people buried in my tree this weekend. If you get hot and you want to enroll and you've got 1 million people you're going to get going on this, I'll build right alongside with you. I've been waiting. We've got these giant elephant legs because now everyone wants to cycle a little bit. It's not the way it works. But if we all work together and you understand how these people max these centers out, it's just, you have to understand that, you guys are all, with Heidi and myself and the other leaders on this team, we were sitting in a Carrabba's, and I said to them, you guys, this is like a multi-million-dollar infrastructure. We've given you a square. This is a Carrabba's. There's 4,000 square feet. And some of you are sitting here at my table. You're back with me again at an ICU in the same spot. You're back with me again at New Year's kickoff. Your rank hasn't changed. It's okay. It's a journey. I get it. And I'm at the same rank too. So it's the same for me. This is like a Carrabba's, but you didn't buy the tables and the chairs and start making the pizza and put it in the wood oven. You have the square. You have the 4,000 square feet. You just didn't put all the stuff inside of it yet to get the machine going and pumping out the wood brick oven pizzas, serving them every day. But you have that infrastructure. You're going to be swept up in this giant city that we're creating, and you've got your little 4,000 square feet with the front door. What are you going to do with it? And all of you are in that position. You wouldn't be on here if you weren't interested in how this really works. So understand where you are, what is it really going to take, and more importantly, are you doing your meditation, your yoga, your exercise? Are you doing your program perfectly? Have you done a cleanse day lately? Are you really being the best you can be, so that when you are talking with somebody, it's an invisible energy. It's not even tangible, because behind you stands me and Heidi supporting you with the best tools, the best conversations, the best templates, the best links, the best system to duplicate in the whole wide world. But it's so up to us, you guys, on an individual basis. And that's what was really loud and clear. And I think Lisa did a great job of going around the room for people that wanted to stand up and really like make a hardcore declaration on what they are willing to do and how vulnerable do they want to be, sharing what they really want out of this and what is the next level they're really willing to put their ass on the line to get to. And I think that, it's great. Like I said, I was at Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny. We made these giant big goal sheets. I laminated mine. It's in the shower. I'm shampooing my hair. I'm reciting it every day. There's no shortage of reminders, but I'm just going to send out this open invitation. If you want to send a one-line text message to either Heidi or myself and re-declare what is, you are not missing Crystal Director bonus by this date. I will not miss Crystal Executive. I will make these many phone calls this week to get introductory calls scheduled. What is your action steps? What's on your heart to say? Because her and I will hold you to it. We will be your accountability partners. So I think that was really the best thing out of the weekend. I mean, Kathy and Jim were amazing. The company can't do more. They can't possibly do more.
Free shipping.
Oh, free shipping. We're having free enrollment next week with free enrollment. We're having free enrollment starting in 12 hours, you guys, for a week. Okay? So they can do more, and they constantly do more. But honestly, you guys, it is our responsibility. You like said yes to this. You have an ID number. You have 4,000 square feet in the giant building. It is our responsibility to keep paying it forward. Like, no joke. And it's so funny, everybody, and me included, can't wait to pre-enroll people in the UK. Can't wait. We're booking our trip. Can't wait. I have neighbors in this neighborhood. They don't even know about Isagenix yet. So it's getting people to my April 10th event in Naples with my Naples team. It's getting in front of 150 people this Friday morning at a big giant brunch that we're sponsoring and putting protein bars in this huge leadership brunch that we have in our neighborhood that April O'Leary and you may see us every month. We'll have a picture with us with a huge CEO and a big leadership thing. And so we're sponsoring the brunch. It was a lot of money. We're doing protein bars. We're doing brochures for everybody. So it's just constant. It's the constant Groundhog Day, you guys. But it's the Groundhog Day with you having raised your energy and vibration so you are more attractive day in and day out. That's it. Drop the mic. That's all I have to say.
Danielle, thank you. So
That's
Paul,
awesome. Yeah, I agree
so
with that.
true.
So yeah, it's 1,000%, exactly what you said, Danielle. It's, you have to have a belief, you have to be so strongly convicted. If you're going to be effective in anything, you have to have just this unshakable belief. And Isagenix, that opportunity is something that is so amazing. We need to share it with others, right? I mean, it's just but you have to believe, you have to have that confidence, but you also have to plug into, a system so that it's duplicatable. If you take those two things, you put them together, you will be unstoppable. And remember, the last thing I'll say as we wrap up this call is don't think of this as trying to get people to say yes, okay? That's, have that posture like Danielle talks about, attracting people, that vibration. I really like that. I'm putting up these vibes, I'm very confident in what I have, and you may want it, you may not, but I don't really care. okay, is the vibe that I'm putting out, right? I
And
don't know
you
if
know,
that makes
and
sense. but
this is really crazy, but I'll never forget this. When Lynn came to St. Louis the very first time and did a presentation, there was a guy, you remember this, Paul? That was just so negative. I mean, he just kept, coming up with all this. Lynn literally turned her back on him and just walked away. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God, that was cool.
Yeah, we're not trying to
And he ended
convince
up-
people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the more you try to convince somebody to
Yeah.
do something, the more they're going to back out. But so I love what Daniel said. That was really great, Daniel. Thank you. And then I'm going to end with this because it's just interesting, the timing of
talking
this. We were
about it.
just talking about this guy I met yesterday. He's opening up these certified this or that chiropractor, whatever. And he's opening up practice here in Aspen. And I told him, hey, you might not be interested. And he, oh no, I am. Well, I sent him a text following up. I said, last night, I said, great meeting you today. And also, when would be a good time to meet to further discuss nutrition? What we offer may or may not be a fit in your world, but would love to meet to explore possibilities. Buy you a cup of coffee, meet for a beer, let me know what works for you best. Real simple, right? And literally as we were sitting here on this call, he just texted me back, great to meet you yesterday too. Let's get a coffee this week. How's Tuesday? Okay, so, just have that, be detached. Don't try to convince. Please do not try to convince somebody. Oh my God, you got to hear this. It's amazing. Oh my God, this is the best stuff. Forget all of that. Back out of that. Have this confidence and come from that, like Danielle says, that real conviction. Do you know what you have?
Yeah.
Be confident in that. And people will see that they'll pick up on
It's
that
attraction
vibe, like
rather
Danielle
than
was saying.
promotion.
Yeah, right.
It's attraction
that's a
rather
great
than
way to say it.
promotion.
That's a good way to say it. And
Right, Joe?
and here's the thing. I'll say this, and I'm going to finish with that. But
Yeah.
Heidi has a posture, and she attracts people to her, just like we're talking about. She attracts people like a flame attracts moths, right? I mean, it's just you do, and
Thank you.
it's just this because it's her posture, it's her belief, and I know Danielle's the same way, and I know there's a lot of people on this call that are the same way. Okay, but having said that, Heidi does not need to use this script or these, the system, if you will, but she does.
That's not true.
But she does. You wouldn't have to, but she
Well-
does because she understands the power of duplication. And you know what? We only have one shot at it. When we get somebody to say yes, I'll listen. We only have one shot, typically. Okay. Now they may come back, but why blow it? We have an opportunity. Don't blow it. That's why we use a script to make sure we say what we need to say and we don't say what we don't need to say. Period.
Okay, so thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Renee.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
everybody.
guys.
And last but not least, I'll be posting these, but you guys are the first to know, other than me and a few other people, but definitely this is going to be awesome. Starting tomorrow, Challenge Week. Oh, Danielle, I think you mentioned this. Free membership for new members joining with 150 BB or higher. All week. You don't need a membership code or any of that. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great, let's make it the best week. Bye, everybody.
Sign up people for the introductory call.
Bye. Great call.
Thank you.